What's going on, guys? This is Kaishro. Welcome back. So we are back with another video. On this video, we're going to cover OCG Metagame report and decklist reviews for the past week. We do have July 16 to July 22. So a week-long span of tournament data gathering, and we're going to see which decks have performed on Southeast Asian regions, namely Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. And we are going to see the decks that have performed post WCQ Asia Finals and Japan Championship. So without further ado, let's start. So moving on first, we do have Bandung Dubilis ban list in Indonesia. So very interesting to see the top hat Silhouette Rabbit into the extra deck can give you a millage of extra interruption from the Angel Statue and played the Bestial's copy on the side deck. The Rise of Bestials are paramount towards the side decking pattern of most decks to answer the Luri into the graveyard of most Finseat decks, and I think the Bestials does have a lot of coverage into the metagame. The Unchained, Finsmith, the Chimera, and also the Voiceless Voice will all struggle around the Bestials. And next would be Voiceless Voice from Lukman. So Voiceless Voice with Summon Limit into the main deck, and there can be only one. So yeah, I think these are also phenomenal towards the end goal of Voiceless Voice to stop the opponent from playing the game with the Skull Guardian protection, Omni Negate, and also the barrier. You have a lot of protection towards your floodgates, and I think the summon limit and there can be only one on game 1 is massive. It could definitely shut down the best decks available. And also triple DD Crow, another alternative to the graveyard banishing effects of Bestials. And DD Crow is much more flexible and versatile because it can target other attributes. And next, we do have Lightsworn, good stuff. Wow, early spice on our report, no? This time with Lightsworn and probably a Bestial engine, yeah, with Finsmith. So played Chaos Space, Double Tractus, and Brigade on the main deck, and I think this is just an alternative version of Tearlament's engine. So the goal is to mill, of course, and also create board with Dispater, Barone, and Savage. So yeah, I think this is a decent deck. And next would be Subs Chimera Finsmith. So it played the Wang Hu Tiger on the XI deck. It's been the popular choice for the Chimera because Wang Hu Tiger is instant win against the top 3 best decks, Yubel, Rescase, and Snake Eyes. So I think Wang Hu Tiger is a card that should be definitely prepared on if you are trying to play around the board of Chimera Finsmith. And next, moving on, we do have our tier list for the post OCG metagame tier list after WCQ Asia Finals and Japan Championship. So this is the sample deck list. So we are not going to browse through this because I have a separate video for this. And moving on, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Davam Mindanao Gaming ranking tournament. First place would be Jobel Views, Tenpai Dragon. So Tenpai Dragon with Forbidden Droplet into the main deck. It's been the debate for most Tenpai players whether they would play Droplet or not into the main deck. But for me, I am playing the Tenpai Dragon without Droplet because I do feel like that hand traps are more appropriate to stop the meta decks, and Droplet is too costly on certain occasions. So yeah, I think Droplet will be relegated on my end towards the side deck only. And next would be Adrian Gabriel Tan, Centurion White Forest or White Woods. So Centurion with White Woods, you definitely benefit from the toy box engine as well. On this build, you discard cards and yeah, you get value towards the graveyard and extenders as well to make synchro plays, and Arcoela or Auxilia. The new name of that card is really insane for this Centurion, and Whitewoods elevates the resiliency and ceiling of this mid-range deck like Centurion, but this is more of a combo deck now than the mid-range version of Centurion. Next would be third place, Scarecrow Finsmith. Wow. So Scarecrow is still doing damage, no, into this July format, mainly to the fact that you could floodgate the opponent and make them into defensive position. And also the Finsmith as well enables you to link climb faster and also make something like Hiking Caesar or Appaloosa early on. So your board is really strong. And next would be Tenpai Dragon from Warren. So Warren opted to play Lightning Storm into the main deck, and Lightning Storm is fair towards the environment that plays back row and also floodgates, and Also, decks like Rescue Ace that likes to set up on their back row and Labyrinth, such as those. So you could punish them. But on hindsight, against the Yubel and Snake Eyes and other popular decks like Chimera and Unchained, the Lightning Storm struggles a lot. That's why I'm not really sure if Lightning Storm is the correct call here. But he played Streaky Sting Kaiju onto the side deck. I think it's an alternative for the Santa Claus. And yeah, moving on. We do have Capis Yu-Gi-Oh! Regular tournament. Shoutouts to our friends in Capis. First place would be Nepo, Crystal Beast. So this is different from the conclave control of Crystal Beast. This time he played an overdrive build, I guess, the combo version of Crystal Beast. And even though he played combo, it still has there can be only one on the main deck. Once you go first and set up the TC Boo, it's guaranteed game for you. And also Vanity's Fiend on the side deck, very interesting. So yeah, Fiend. So you get to special summon and tribute those from the normal summon of Vanity Fiend and stun the opponent. So yeah, I see he has opted to play floodgating effects like the Sanctum and Fiend into this deck. And next would be Buster Blader Horus. Wow. So 42 card, no? Quite extensive. But yeah, I think this has been correct because you're still going to play Ash and Maxi. And the TCG people have popularized the Buster Blader Horus before on the previous NAIC, yeah, National Championship. So yeah, Buster Blader can definitely smoke the hell out of Tenpai Dragon once you set up with the Buster Lock and the Dragon Lock. The Tenpai Dragon won't do anything harm against you. So yeah, I think it's a great meta call to play Buster Blader in the Philippines because Tenpai Dragon is probably the most represented deck into our environment. And next would be Omni Heroes. So Omni Heroes, no, standard. Yeah, I played Droplet into the main deck, and only one Maxi, maybe just a cross out target. And next would be Live Twin. So Live Twin without, oh, this is a tactical try exhibition, no. It didn't play the Finsmith engine and also Sprite. So just pure Live Twin. Very odd to see this, but yeah, I think it could work. Just control the match, no? And draw cards, pop cards, and yeah, hope for the best once you clear the threats on your opponent's board. And next would be Duelo Iloilo Summer Camp 3v3 tournament. So I believe this is the champion. These are the champion of the tournament. First place would be Earl Camara. So Unchained Finsmith. So played Trust into the main deck and also the DDD package. So this is very TCG-SK way of deck building Unchained Finsmith. You wouldn't see this version in OCG regions, but he opted to adapt the TCG playthrough of this DDD engine towards the Unchained Finsmith. And also played Ghost Ogre. I'm not really sure if Ghost Ogre is impactful towards the metagame right now, but it still has its usage against the Tenpai Dragon Field spell, the Nightmare Pain of Yubel, and also the Voices Voice, which is probably the second most represented deck in the Philippines. Next would be Tenpai Dragon, another Tenpai from Loren. So, played Barone into the extra deck. I think Barone is really phenomenal here. You could opt to play out Barone in your first turn if you don't want to end on seals, and Barone as an Omni-Negate protection can give you breathing room towards the mid game to late game facing of the game. And also played Ojama Trio, yeah. It is like an FTK against Tenpai Dragon when you don't have anything on your board. So the Ojama Trio could be targets for attack, and the Trident Dragon could deal massive damage against those tokens. And next would be Toy Box White Forest or White Woods. So played the White Woods with Toy Box. I think the White Woods with Toy Box are losing popularity towards the majority of OCG region. Most people are trying to play the White Woods with Centurion nowadays. And yeah, I think Toy Box is kinda bricky on some occasions when you don't really have to discard cards, and also you want to have hand traps to stop the opponent from playing the game. I think the toy box really lags behind in comparison towards the Centurion, which is more proactive and has a lot of ways to start their plays. And yeah, moving on, we do have Butuan Yu-Gi-Oh community. First place would be Mikanko from Jang. So Mikanko, the old classic way of playing Yubel, just stun the opponent and yeah, really frustrate everything and everyone against this Mikanko. It is very hard to deal against the Mikanko once you don't have outs towards their setup. And also played Jinzo. Wow. I think it's a correct meta call on this community because they do have a lot of traps and Jinzo is a card that will prevent any traps from resolving. And also played Slumber with Kaiju. So this is like an FTK version of Mechanico once you Kaiju the opponent and deal massive damage from your Mechanico cards. And next would be Millennium Exodia. So Millennium Exodia has been popular recently towards the end of June to going to July format. People have tried to maximize the Exodia package with stun cards like Fissure and other floodgates like Skill Drain, Summon Limit, there can be only one. Other stuff like those will definitely stall out the game and win on probably controlling the match and dealing beat down with the Millennium or possibly doing the unthinkable, completing the 5 parts of Exodia. Next would be Ellie Scrap. So Scrap, no? It's been a while since I have seen Scrap, but yeah, this is very interesting. It played Control version of Scrap. Even though Scrap in general is combo-ish, it played Solemns like Warning and Strike and Torrential Tribute with Synchro Zone. So he didn't opt to play hand traps but opted to play various tech cards like Dark Ruler No More and Lost Wind. Wow, this is very budget and I'm glad that he tapped on the tournament using a very outdated and budget deck. It proves how he still can compete even though with limited resources. Once you do well, you do well. And next would be Yuking Malaysia. Shoutouts to our friend in Malaysia. First place would be Tenpai Dragon with Mulchami Purulya into the main deck. Only one copy. I think it's just alternative option once you draw it off from Maxi. And you pair it off with Maxi, you draw simultaneously and massive amounts of card advantages. Next would be Tenpai Dragon with Finsmith and Invoke. Wow, this is spicy. Hold on a minute. This is spicy. So Invoke can give you Mecha ba, no? So Sangen Kaimen probably just OTK the opponent and yeah, the Finsmith also enables you to create something like Appaloosa or Little Knight. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting deck building here. And next would be Millennium Sinful Spoils. Yeah. So also Snake Eyes. So Finsmith, Millennium, Sinful Spoils with Snake Eyes. And also Grass. So 60 card version of Snake Eyes. And next would be Labyrinth. So Labyrinth with more trap oriented lineup with Dogmatica Punishment and double rollback. And also Daruma Cannon. So yeah, a more controlling version of Labyrinth. And moving on, we do have Kedri Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG League Tournament. First place would be Whitewood Centurion. So played Sphere Mode. Sphere Mode is gaining popularity recently post WCQ Asia Finals. People have adapted the rescue shenanigans of Sphere Mode towards their side deck, and Sphere Mode is an instant out towards the board of Yubel, Snake Eyes, and Rescue Ace. So it's a massive blowout against the best decks, and I wouldn't blame him because he is playing Whitewoods and Centurion. He could get away without committing towards his normal summon. And next would be second place Snake Eyes Finsmith standard. Yeah, very standard. Just played Bestials towards the main deck over the likes of Veiler. And next we do have Voiceless Voice. So another standard list, 42 card. I think not too shabby, no, for a Voiceless Voice. I think 42 is fine for Voiceless Voice considering that you want to play hand traps as well, even though your build is stacked with Diviner, Slow, Pre-Prep, all of those starters. And next would be 4th place Fahar, Tenpai Dragon with set rotation, and if there's a will, there's a way out, I guess. Yeah, that's the name of this, another field spell. So it could be a good alternative option to search out your Sangen Summoning, and we all knew how impactful the Sangen Summoning is. You definitely gain so much value from the set rotation once you build your Sangen Summoning, you are protected, and also you could translate into making the Transcendrake Dragon towards your main phase 1 before going to the battle phase. So you're going to guarantee an OTK. And yeah, moving on, we do have Lamongan Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. First place would be Ritual Beast. So with Fissure and Nemesis package towards the main deck. So Nemesis is really a hassle here to deal against because Protoss is a card that could definitely shackle most of the meta decks. They cannot procure anything once you call Fire, Dark, Light. The meta decks like Voices Voice, Yubel, and something like Snake Eyes would definitely struggle a lot. And next would be uh, Unchained. Oh, Live Twin, Finsmith. So, played evenly matched, no? Even though evenly matched is not that really popular recently, I think the evenly still has value against Rescase and other Floodgate decks from Aditya Hilda. So, next would be KGS Card Shop tournament. First place would be Live Twin. So, there's a bunch of Live Twins already in our report. And I wonder if it's the logic behind having a lot of tactical try deck of Live Twin or Evil Twin. And next would be Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame Malang weekly tournament. First place would be Rescue Ace. So standard, yeah. Play triple draw towards the main deck. And next would be Vanquish Soul. So Vanquish Soul with triple small world. So bunch of ways to start your plays, searching of your Raizen and also your starters. So yeah, I think this is very TCGSK way of deck building with triple Baguska and all. And next would be Whitewood Centurion. So Whitewoods, I think is still really phenomenal. I think there will be a lot of Whitewoods moving on once they get their support from Azamina and probably a new support on the few following sets, no? And next would be Ice Barrier. So Ice Barrier, very nice. Ice Barrier here played the Swap Frag towards the main deck. I think good extender and ways to improve your board. And yeah, moving on. We do have Time Walk, Yu-Gi-Oh! Ranking Tournament. First place would be Voices Voice, Standard. I don't know the name after the Cross Ship, yeah. And also played Winter Cherries. No, it doesn't play Winter Cherries. It just played the Link to Offin Smith. Really interesting. And played Regeki, of course. Regeki, a very free card. You don't really cost too much and wipe the board of decks that don't establish Omni Negate. And next would be Ice Barrier. So another Ice Barrier. So Ice Barrier is really popular, I guess, in Indonesia. And yeah, play triple Droplet. So you get so much value from Droplet on this deck. You get floating effects and also negate the opponent's monsters. And next would be Naturia Horus. So of course, Naturia Beast is insane. And also the Cosmic Blazer is also perennial here to establish Omni Negate. And played Lava Golem, so you don't really commit normal summon on this Naturia engine. And next would be Yubel, yeah, Yubel, with Baldrake, Magnemute, and Druis Worm towards the main deck. Those three are really strong towards the mirror match. Once you banish the Luri, the Engraver, the Squirmer, they could potentially struggle. And yeah, played Triple Change of Heart, another good card against the mirror match. So his deck build is probably built towards countering the mirror match. And yeah, moving on, we do have Duelo Antique Yu-Gi-Oh! Association Ranking Tournament. First place would be Carl Alarcon, Snake Eyes Fire King Standard, yeah. Standard build of Fire King Snake Eyes. Played Starving Venom on the side deck, wow. So another super poly target. He didn't play Garura and also Mad Dragon, but Starving Venom on this case. And next would be Branded from Antonio Norelia. So 45 card branded, different from the 60 card version, and also played a lot of extenders towards the main deck. And next would be Ice Barrier. Yeah, Ice Barrier. So there's a bunch of Ice Barrier recently. This time with a more stun-oriented build of Ice Barrier with the Water Barrier State Q stunning the opponent, and there's no many water decks right now in the format aside from White Ice Barrier. And yeah, it could definitely halt the meta decks from playing the game. So moving on, we do have Bogor Duelist Community in Indonesia. First place would be Rough with Burning Abyss, Snake Eyes Finsmith. So yeah, I think this is his latest iteration of Burning Abyss because he's been a devoted Burning Abyss player since day one, and I probably couldn't blame him because Burning Abyss is Burning Abyss. It is a very attractive and lucrative deck since the previous formats, and yeah, I think he just wants to capitalize on Beatrice using the Finsmith and potentially start his Burning Abyss plays. And he didn't even play Dante, no? So the Burning Abyss are just extenders for this. And next would be Eldritch Horus. Wow, from Ramadan. So Eldritch Horus are interesting with Finsmith as well. So this is like the modern Synchro Eldritch, no? You get to combo off and also deal board that your opponent cannot really expect because you're a floodgate deck, and probably you are going to, yeah, expect back row removals and all, but the hand traps can be quite detrimental towards this Finsmith line of play. And next would be Snake Eyes, Finsmith. So played Magician Souls towards the main deck. I think Magician Souls is gaining popularity recently in Asia around the Snake Eyes Finsmith deck list because it's another extender and a way to start your combos. So yeah, I wouldn't blame him if they play the Magician Souls because you have lost too much resources and consistency cards already, like the Ash and Bonfire going into 2. And next would be Voiceless Voice from Dimas. So main deck. Whoa! This has Bestial, yeah. So it has Bestials. So another form of interruption and repercussion from the Branded Regain. Really interesting deck building here from Dimas. So yeah, moving on. We do have Evo Community ranking tournament. First place would be Labyrinth Finsmith. So yeah, standard. Play double Nibiru towards the main deck. And next would be Infernoid. So 60 card Infernoid. This is very standard as well. No hand traps, just mill cards and Reasoning, Grass, yeah, Monster Gate, Trust from Adil. Next would be Bagas, Ignister Matmech. So with triple Signet Mining, no, only one Small World I think has been the trend recently. And main deck na copy of Red Reboot. So he wants to safely OTK against Floodgate decks or back rows. And next would be Kashtira, wow, from Aditya. So it's been a while since I have seen Kashtira, but this time with Sinful Spoils. So I think it's a level 7. Yeah. So it could be an extender for this Kashtira. So Arise Heart Pass, maybe. Arise Heart Pass could be massive towards the metagame right now. A floating Macrocosmos and triggering Shureg. And yeah, moving on, we do have Osiris Dubilis Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. This would be first place from LDKY, Ubel. So played Dagnamut and Baldrake. I think they have gotten inspiration towards the winner of the WCQ Asia finals, which opted to main deck the copy of Magnamut and Baldrake. And also triple Phantasmi, of course. Phantasmi is really strong towards this meta because the top 3 best decks are linear on Link Summoning. And next would be Labyrinth from Marvin. So played Rivalry into the main deck. So yeah, this could be logical because you are playing a bunch of Fiend monsters only. Next would be Trickstar Sprite. Wow, this is very spicy. So it includes the new support of Trickstar, yeah. I believe it included the new support of Trickstar. And Sprite because you do have a lot of level 2s here. So you could potentially make Gigantic and start your place or do IP Masquerena or Top Hat play. And next would be Plant Pile, Rika San Avalon. So shoutouts to Jessica Robinson for popularizing this deck. Even though we are in Asia, people are admiring her success in the TCG. And San Avalon Rika is still a decent deck. The only problem would be Droll and Maxi. And yeah, moving on, we do have our last deck on our metagame report. This is my deck list from our recent weekly tournament in Kaido Tabletop community. I played Tenpai Dragon, undefeated on the tournament. And yeah, this is my Tenpai Dragon looks like right now. Played a bunch of hand traps with a bunch of board breakers on the side deck to respect the back row. I really want to respect the anti-meta, the meta beat, the runic, the likes of Rescue Ace, and other back row decks because those are very popular in the metagame of Philippines. And yeah, These hand traps are perfect for me right now. The one of Magnamut and Mourner towards the main deck are really good once you draw it off from Maxi, and also the Mourner is massive. And yeah, I think that sums up our OCG Metagame report and decklist review. If you have found this video informative and enjoying, please consider subscribing towards my YouTube channel. It definitely motivates me a lot to keep going. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.